Let me be the first one to say this to Aubrey. You remember when you first came out in your career, how, you know what I'm saying, you came out doing love music for women, you know what I mean, and everything was going great. You wasn't as big, but you was doing good numbers. You know, everybody respected you. Then you joined Young Money, you know, and you started gaining a little bit of confidence to thinking that you could play this tough boy act. And that's when Lil Wayne sat you down and say, look, don't try to be no thug. Don't try to be no gangsters. Don't get tattoos. Don't try to be like one of the boys. Don't try to be a goon. Just be yourself. Keep it to where you can be yourself, and trust me, nothing will change. Everything will be good. You're gonna be all right. Just keep doing what you're doing, and trust me, there's nothing in this world that is gonna go by you without you even seeing it or without you even catching it. Because that's what me, myself, and a couple of the rappers from Young Money are here for. You just stay in your lane, do your love music to women and everything, and do your little songs, you know what I'm saying, to make us dance and make us feel good, and you'll be all right. But as Drake's career started elevating, and then he saw that Young Money wasn't gonna give him what he was asking for, and he wasn't gonna progress with his contracts, he decided to do a contract with UMG, which is the biggest contract that Drake ever had at the time. And Drake started gaining this confidence. Yes, I'm going to play the tough boy act. I'm going to play the gangster act. I'm going to play the goon and the thug act, because everybody's going to love me for it, even though in real life, in reality, I'm not that type of individual. But I'm going to go ahead and take away a little bit of the love music that I'm doing, you know what I'm saying, and the pop music that I'm doing. Now I'm going to turn it to a gangster. Now I'm going to turn it to a thug. Now I'm going to turn into a villain. It never looked it good on you. It never looked it straight with you. It was just a demise and the play and the act of fool that you was doing. But you know what? You started gaining more fans and more fans. So you started gaining more confidence, more confidence, more confidence. And it just got to the point that your real self was exposed. The way you tried The Weeknd, the way you tried your artists in OVO, the way you tried, you know, A$AP Rocky and so many others like Kanye. So your statistics and trying people got so confident that the humbled, you know, straight Drake that sang about women and love music and all that, it went out the door. Now you wanted to show a different persona, a different image, a different perspective, so people can look at you and say, yay, that's that gangster, that's that dude, that's that real, you know what I'm saying? When in reality, it backfired on you. You tried several rappers like Meek Mill and several others, and you was, you know what I'm saying, you was victorious. But then you climbed a ladder that you couldn't climb, and you decided to try Pusha T. That's in a different category and a different level from where you at. And look what he did to you. He demolished you. He just annihilated you, and he exposed you for being the deadbeat father that you are, and he made you be a father. Fine. They said that you had a song, you know what I'm saying? Jay Prince and all of them were talking about that you had a song to retaliate back to Pusha T, but that song never came out, and they didn't let you come out with the song because it said it would have bring a lot of drama and a lot of trouble to yourself. So you did it. But throughout your career, you started gaining more success, more favoritism, and you sky's the limit. You understand what I'm saying? You started breaking all type of records. So your confidence again started building up. And then you just thought that by you trying, the GOAT of today in music, Kendrick Lamar, was gonna turn out to go your way. But unfortunately, you can't teach a dog new tricks when he already know the game and he was born in the hood himself. You're not a part of that domain. You're not a part of that category. You're not a part of that environment. And when you came out with songs started from the bottom and that, you know what I'm saying? I started looking at you very differently. Like, who is this man trying to be? Who is this man trying to play? But you did that for clout. You did that to sell more albums. You did that to gain more favoritism from your audience and from your fans and other people. And subliminally, you was trying Kendrick, and Kendrick will diss you subliminally, and then Kendrick disappeared for a couple of years, then he came back, and Kendrick Lamar always stood to his standards, and he was winning Grammys just like you, best album, and the whole 9 yards. And then you decided to come out with this interview talking about Kendrick. Oh, you just can't go ahead and try me subliminally. If you're going to say something about somebody, say their names, and then disappear for a couple of years to come back. You know what? We ain't going to pay attention to you. That's where you messed up at, and that's where Kendrick came out with Control to let you know I'm not the one to be effed up with. I love all you rappers that he naming Control, but F all you rappers, cause I want to be on top. I want all y'all fans to be my fans. You think Kendrick was playing? So you started again subliminally trying Kendrick until you decided to call him out by his name. When you did push-ups and all that good stuff. That you also tried Rick Ross, and you tried Future, and you tried some of the people that you work with like Metro. And for you to disrespect Metro's mom, that was so disrespectful. That was a hard time for Metro, and you decided to disrespect him by telling him shut up and make beats. That is so wrong. From that perspective right there, I already know you was corny. I already know you was a fake one. I already know you was the one that would turn your back on everybody that supported you and that was there for you to climax through your career and that wrote your classics. But you took credit for yourself. You didn't care about nobody else. All you cared about was yourself and what you can accomplish without giving nobody the gratification and the thank you and celebrating them the way they celebrated you. Every Grammy that you did, that a ghostwriter wrote for you, that you won the Grammys for, you took the credit for yourself. You didn't even say big ups to Big Dog for, you know what I'm saying, writing my song, for being there for me. You know what I'm saying? You ain't congratulated nobody. So then Kendrick waited, I think it was 16, 17 days? And then Kendrick Lamar drops and drops and drops and drops. It got to the point that you even told Kendrick Lamar, why don't you talk about my PDF, you know what I'm saying, cases, because to me it's a gift. So Kendrick Lamar abide, and he did what you asked him to do. And when he came out with Meet the Grams, that was it. He destroyed you with Meet the Grams, but not like us, just cemented you in the grave. And instead of being buried 6 feet deep, it buried you 12 feet deep. And you have came out with almost 70 songs in the past 2 years, and none of them songs hit. None of them songs went #1 or even did numbers like Kendrick Lamar did with GNX, and especially on his tour. So you see, you did this to yourself, Drake. The confidence that you gained, thinking that you was gonna be superb, that you was gonna be on top forever, for you to put UMG and Kendrick Lamar in a federal court for Not Like Us, that destroyed your legacy, period. Not only your career, but your legacy entirely. And what really gets to me is that you're complaining and you're crying. What you thought? That the judge wasn't gonna look at the diss tracks that you did towards Kendrick Lamar? Of course they were gonna look at that. So simply, you know what? I could try Kendrick Lamar, I could try any rapper out there, but they can't try me because I'm too emotional and I'm too much of a crybaby, and I'm gonna sue them for the remarks and the things that they said about me and the diss songs that they said about me. Well, it doesn't go that way. You can't beat hip hop. Hip hop, you are allowed to disrespect and try and go all out when it comes to a rap battle. But you thought you had it all in your hands. You thought that you had it all figured out. You thought that you was gonna be victorious. You thought that you was gonna walk out as the last man standing. Well, guess what, my brother? It didn't go the way that you wanted it to go. So now your lawyers are looking to appeal the case, but it's not gonna happen. Most cases like this, when they appeal them, they lose again. So don't even waste your time. Basically, I'm gonna be real with you. I believe your lawyers played you for your money. You paid your lawyers for nothing because they really didn't do their homework the way they supposed to do. If a lawyer really did their homework, you wouldn't even come out to this format and this horrible loss that you just endured. You need to just leave the game alone. You need to retire. You need to go away so people can miss you. And I don't even think that you will ever be respected in hip hop no more. But it was your self-confidence and your consciousness that led you to this point. You thought that by you being the biggest star for 15 or 20 years that you was going to get away by dissing Kendrick Lamar, who is really a rap battler, who is really a mogul when it comes to diss tracks, when it comes to dissing a man and putting him out there and finishing his career like Eminem. You really thought that you had that in your pocket. There's certain people that you shouldn't try. There's certain people you should not disrespect. There's certain people's family that you shouldn't put out there and thinking that you're going to get away with it. And the judge saw all of that. What you think? That the judge just heard Kendrick Lamar not like us and Kendrick Lamar's disses towards you? No. She heard push-ups. She heard, the Family Matters, and she heard the other diss tracks, the one with Taylor Swift, AI, Tupac, and Snoop Dogg, and she also heard other several diss tracks that you did against Meek Mill and others. And she put all that together and say, hold on, you're suing this man for diss track, but you're known for dropping diss tracks on other rappers yourself. So you know what? She wasn't going to go ahead and double jeopardy, Kendrick Lamar, and hit Kendrick Lamar and UMG with a big lawsuit because she saw there is no way that I can do that when I'm seeing that you disrespected that man's family, you disrespected that man's kids, you disrespected that man's best friend, and you also called him a woman beater, and you also said, yeah, go ahead and spread out my PDF, into them terms, because to me it's a gift. So the judge saw that and said, you know what, this man can't win. And he's not gonna win. So I'm gonna go ahead and dismiss this case because it has no pull, and it has no right to it when you yourself was engaged in the diss or in the battle yourself. So the judge was smart enough to say, you know what, I'm going to dismiss this case. There's no point of me hitting UMG or Kendrick Lamar with a big ass lawsuit. But it was your confidence. It was your self-interest. It was your, I want to be a thug. I want to be a gangster. I want to be like Kendrick Lamar. I want to be like them boys out there, like them goons out there. I think I can make this happen and I'll be called the greatest rapper alive. To me, you was never the greatest rapper alive. To me, you was never that rapper. You was just the average rapper. When it comes to rapping about women, I'll give you that because, boy, you got it down pat. But to sit here and say that you was going to beat Kendrick Lamar? Come on, bruh. Don't let your self-consciousness eat you up in your mind thinking that you was going to beat Kendrick Lamar. If you did study rap battles for a living, then you should have studied Kendrick Lamar before he even became the superstar and the GOAT of today. You should have studied them rappers that are lyrically insane and inclined to being battle rappers that will eliminate you in just a couple of bars. You understand what I'm saying? But this is what you did to yourself. So you know what? Drake is finished. Done.